Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm bringing you another Ask FM / Twitter segment, as I'm going to be asking you guys, answering a lot of the questions that you guys have, asked me. So the first question comes in from the blue-haired Super Saiyan, and guys, if you were watching this Q&A, I'll do this just one more time. Pause this video, go over to the blue-haired Super Saiyan. I'll make sure that he has the very first thing in one of the links I put, and check out his channel and definitely subscribe to this guy. This guy is hilarious. There's no other Dragon Ball YouTuber, or there's no other YouTuber I've seen that has made the type of videos he has. He is a complete comedian. He makes Dragon Ball comedy videos. I'm telling you guys, he's awesome. Trust me, subscribing to him would be an investment to your YouTube entertainment future. Anyways, he wants to know, Aquaman, what if Boo absorbed all the Supreme Kais and Beerus? Would he be both gods of destruction, of creation and destruction? Yeah, technically. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, because the Kais are gods of creation and Beerus is a god of destruction. So yeah, if he absorbed them, he would technically be both, which would be weird as hell. I would answer more of your questions, bro, but I gotta answer other people to be fair. Why did Boo get weaker when he absorbed Piccolo? Because you're a fucking asshole, Duct Tape. Dragon Ball Nation wants to know, why the fuck are you so ugly? I would say look in the mirror. Goodnight Moon wants to know, who is your favorite superhero? Well, I mean, if Dragon Ball doesn't count, if I'm going with comics, I'm probably gonna have to go with Iceman. Legendary Negro Saiyan wants to know, when did you realize that you were black? Well, I mean, two black people fucked, and I was the end product, and I basically known that, ever since I was in school, and I noticed that certain people looked more like me, I guess. I don't know. We're all the same race, bro. We're all human. Geekdom wants... Geekdom say he still hasn't realized it. Dragon Ball's Best wants to know, Geekdom versus Mike from Laughingstock Media in a pie eating contest. I'm gonna probably have to go... I'm gonna probably have to give the edge to Geekdom because he's a little bit older and I think he'd be more experienced in doing that. When will you do Hunter x Hunter videos? Well, I haven't seen the series yet, so I am not adapted to actually do that as of right now. What are some tips to grow a Dragon Ball Z channel? I mean, go check out my, my 100k subscriber special, which I talked about this before. I mean, a Dragon Ball Z channel is kind of hard now because there's so many other people who are doing this, but really, honestly, the number one thing I can tell you is, just like this guy all the way up here, the blue-haired Super Saiyan, try to be unique, bro. That's really all you need to do. The more unique you are, the more you stand out, the more people will subscribe to you. That's how almost anybody on YouTube has some type of success. You make videos that everybody else doesn't do. How do you feel about clickbait? Well, I did a 3-part series on how I feel about clickbait, so I don't think this is really necessary to talk about. I'm never going to talk about clickbait again. My clickbait saga's over. Alright, Dimsy wants to know, name one event which you can correlate between Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super in terms of holding the same emotional weight for you. Piccolo dying in Dragon Ball Super, Krillin dying in Dragon Ball Z, and Krillin dying in Dragon Ball. I think all of those three would probably correlate because, I mean, if you think about it, all three of those events had a major impact on a certain character that helped them bring out more powers. Even though Gohan really didn't do much with his power in Super, he helped, power up enough for Goku to, sense his energy. In terms of, Krillin in Dragon Ball, I mean, when Tambourine killed him, Goku got really angry and, went off there to try and stop, what happened. And, Goku went Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z. So I think all those three things are three emotional weights that I could talk about. Okay, who do you think Goku will fight? Hit? No, because he's disqualified. And I kind of know a little bit about the spoilers that are upcoming and who's going to fight who. So Goku's probably not going to fight him in, almost all... it would be very shocking for me to see Goku fight him at this point. What would Earth be like without Goku? Would he be in power? Who would be in power and who would be dead? When will Earth be destroyed inevitably? I mean, it's kind of complicated to answer this question because if Goku wasn't around, I mean, there's so many different things that can happen, and I've thought about doing a what if on this, but the thing is that without Goku, you're literally changing the entire series. So I was thinking of doing an interesting what if where it's not going to be like a event by event what if. It's going to be more like the major things that would have changed if Goku wasn't around. But really, honestly, I mean, that's way too much of an open-ended question. Do you think Piccolo would have won against Frost in a fight due to the death without Frost poison? I mean, I would assume so, because I mean, it was pretty. I mean, Frost even admitted he would have lost, you know, if he didn't cheat, I guess. So I would have to say that. And to finalize these last two questions, do you think Namco Bandai should make the next Dragon Ball Z like Raging Blast or like Xenoverse? I would definitely say Xenoverse. Xenoverse was the most creative Dragon Ball game we've seen in a long time, and that's why it was so successful. I mean, yeah, what was it, Ultimate Tenkaichi? I never played Ultimate Tenkaichi, but I heard, you know, Ultimate Tenkaichi had, you know, a create a character mode. But if you think about it, like, Xenoverse made it better, even though I think some of the skills you could learn in Xenoverse could be a bit broken, and the custom character created system needs to be more balanced. It was way better than Ultimate Tenkaichi from what I was told, and in addition to that, it had an original story while telling the same story, and that's what I think made Xenoverse so successful. It told the same story of Dragon Ball that every other Dragon Ball game did, but with an original, unique twist, and I think that's what really separated that game from the others. It's not like all those other Dragon Ball games where you just replay the story for the 50 millionth time that everybody already knows. They replayed the story, but they kind of altered the events of it, which really made it stand out. So I definitely would say follow the Xenoverse route and be creative, because that's what makes it successful, and that's what makes it stand out, like I was saying before with YouTube. So to finalize my Twitter questions, Rage1 Suarez wants to know, do you like any of the Universe 6 characters, including Champa and Vados? If so, who is your favorite one? Well, I mean, the thing is, we don't really, well, from what we've seen, I mean, Botamo, Frost, Champa, and Vados are really the only characters that, you know, we really know. I mean, if I were to pick one character that I'm interested in learning more about, it would probably be Kaba, because it's very interesting to hear about, you know, a Saiyan from an alternate universe, you know, and like the fact that he doesn't have a tail, like, you know, the complete different, it's so different from the Universe 7 Saiyans that I just think Kaba is the most interesting character to learn about, because it's so awesome seeing an alternate Saiyan. So that's going to do it for my Twitter questions. I'm going to go on Ask FM in just 1 second. Alrighty, so we're now back to our Ask FM portion of the day, and the first question is, are you light, medium, or dark chocolate Black Man's Land? Wow, okay, well, I mean, if you haven't seen in my videos, I'm dark chocolate. I'm not afraid to admit it. I don't care. I'm proud of who I am. I'm dark-skinned. Whip-de-doo. Okay, the next question comes in. How strong is Yajirobe compared to the average human? This is an interesting question. I would say Yajirobe is... I would put Yajirobe ahead of Mr. Satan / Hercule. I think Yajirobe would probably be weaker than Videl. This might be my featured question. Don't quote me on it, guys, but this might be my featured question. But the reason why I'm going to say that I think Yajirobe is stronger than Hercule is because, I mean, he climbed Korin's tower, which is something the average human can't do. I mean, Yajirobe did kill Symbol, who was one of, you know, Tamborine's, you know, I'm sorry, he was one of King Piccolo's henchmen. So, I mean, when he killed Symbol, Symbol's a pretty powerful guy, and Yajirobe just sliced him in half like it was no problem, and, you know, he ate him. And I know that some of you are probably thinking, well, Qaaman, well, he used the sword. Well, yeah, well, I want to see, my question to you is this. I want to see you guys, and I'm going to put a hashtag right here, guys. This has to be my featured question. I have a task for you guys. If we were in fiction, I want you to pick up a sword, challenge Symbol to a fight, and tell me how well it goes. I'm pretty sure you won't end up victorious. So with all that said, because he can beat Symbol, because he climbed Korin's tower, and he did lose in the 23rd Budokai against Hero, or Shen, as you would know, who was basically, you know, Kami in disguise. That's telling me that Yajirobe is well above the average human. And, I mean, the guy was running super fast. I mean, Goku had to keep up with him. I mean, this is Kid Goku we're talking about. Kid Goku had to keep up with him. So in terms of speed and strength, I'd say he's stronger than Hercule, probably stronger than Videl, even though he might not have the energy. But I mean, I think Videl probably has more energy control over than Yajirobe, but Yajirobe has some feats that I can't see the average human accomplishing. So I'm going to have to say he's stronger than Hercule. And you know what? I'll just say it. I think he's even a little bit stronger than Videl, even though Videl might have the edge due to, you know, her ability to fly. So yeah, Yajirobe's really, really strong compared to the average human. Definitely one of the strongest humans out there. I mean, he has some very strong feats if you go back to the original Dragon Ball. Would you like to see a... Oh yeah, I forgot to say, if you agree with me in the comment section below about what I said about Yajirobe, put hashtag challenge symbol, because I'm pretty sure most of you would agree. Most people wouldn't be very successful if you pick up a samurai sword and challenge symbol in a fight. Trust me, 99.quadrillion% of you would not be victorious. Would you like to see Frost versus Golden Frieza fan animation? I mean... that would be interesting, but I wouldn't really be that cool because, I mean, they're both basically the same character from another universe, so it doesn't have that whole impact like a Goku Superman or, you know, Mewtwo Frieza type of thing. Super Saiyan Goku versus Super Saiyan Trunks when they met for the first time. I mean, it was pretty clear the way Trunks was impressed with Goku's power that Goku had the edge, and he was so impressed with him. He wouldn't, if Goku was equal to or weaker than Trunks, Trunks wouldn't have been that impressed with his power, in my opinion at least, even though Trunks was holding back. You know, I would pretty much have to say that. Who is the realest motherfucker in the Dragon Ball universe? Well, in the real Dragon Ball universe, it's Hail Zeon. In the actual Dragon Ball universe, ooh, Master Roshi. I'm gonna go with Raph's Master Roshi. You know why? Because Master Roshi is not afraid to do what's on his mind. Ever heard of Nightwish? No, I've never heard of Nightwish. I don't even know what that is, to be honest with you. Do you think we will ever see the Supreme Kai of Time in Dragon Ball Super? No, because she was... I mean, the Supreme Kai of Time was in Dragon Ball Xenoverse, so... I can't see a reason why she would be in Super. I mean, unless they want to take some of the parallels of the story, but I really just don't think we're going to see Supreme Kai of Time. It would just be too out of the blue. And we don't even know how long Super is going to even go beyond this whole Universe 6 arc. It might not even continue, so I don't say so. Why does Goku T23 say inside so many times inside Dragon Ball GT? I don't know, you're going to have to ask him that. My favorite Dragon Ball moment would have to be when Goku killed King Piccolo, because I felt that that was the end of a villain who basically started the whole concept of like these really individual super powerful villains in Dragon Ball. You know, I mean, if you look at Mercenary Tao, yeah, he was kind of like that too, but I mean, King Piccolo was on a completely different level. So I would say King Piccolo in Dragon Ball Z, Gohan fighting the Cell Juniors, because I thought that was an epic moment. Dragon Ball GT, when Goku fights, you know, Nova and Ice Shenron as the Super Saiyan 4, I thought that was awesome. I mean, Ice Shenron was cool, but like Goku just like, when Goku one-shotted Ice Shenron with punching him through the chest and just did that Dragon Fist, I'm gonna have to say that's my favorite GT moment. And for Dragon Ball Super, it's still a new series. I mean, I'm gonna be biased here. My favorite moment was when Piccolo grabbed, you know, Frost and entangled him with his arm, because I was jumping up like a little kid and I was thinking he was gonna beat him until, you know, Dragon Ball Super decided to bend Piccolo over and, you know, stick quite a big thing up his Namekian anus and just screw him over. So, you know, before that, I would say when Piccolo was, you know, getting his way with Frost. And my final question is, how did Goku come to Earth in the BoJack movie? If it is possible, then why didn't he do it on other occasions as well? By Divyam Korea. How did he come to Earth in the BoJack movie? Well, from what we saw, I mean, he used instant transmission. If it's possible, then why didn't he do it on the other occasions? Because it's the writing, honestly. He violated the rules, and even King Kai said it. You know, a person from the dead is not supposed to go to the living. But there's been speculation as to whether or not Goku actually, you know, came back, or was that just Gohan's figment of imagination. My honest opinion to this is, I think that Goku really did come back briefly, because how did Bojack randomly get punched? And how did Bojack fall down randomly? There was nobody else there. Everybody was pretty much knocked out. So I don't see any other reason why Bojack would just randomly fall down if nobody punched him in the face. So yeah, I think Goku actually was there, and I think he used the instant transmission just like it showed. So guys, that's been my video for today in terms of my Ask FM questions. I answered a pretty nice pool of questions for today, guys, and I made sure I put Q&A on the thumbnail so nobody thinks it's clickbait. So most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.